Did you know that most people who buy online courses never finish them? Yeah, for a self-paced online course, the completion rates range from 3% on the low end to like 30% in the best case scenario. So we can talk about what'll move the needle on that a little bit later. But here's what you need to know right now. If your clients aren't finishing your courses, they're not getting results. And if they're not getting results, they're not turning into raving fans. So that means you're not getting testimonials, you're not getting referrals, and you're not getting repeat customers. So before you spend the next 6 months of your life creating zillions of slides and 32 modules, let's back this up for a second. I think I can show you a smarter, faster way to design a program that's going to deliver for your clients. It's still going to give you that freedom you're looking for, and it will grow your business. So I'm Laura Zovelson, and this is the Gen Expert Show, where we talk about building your coaching or consulting business to maximize money, meaning, and flexibility. So you never, ever have to be out there looking for a job again, unless you really want to. So, why don't people finish their online courses? So, I think first their enthusiasm fades, right? Especially if it's a long, big course, right? Life gets in the way, especially with information only courses where there's no built in accountability. Second, I think they get stuck. People run into something they don't understand, or it's not working for them, or they can't get it quite right. And if they don't have really quick, easy access to answers, they'll just kind of set it aside. And I think they think they'll come back to it, but they usually don't. And then the last piece is that in some of these courses, I just don't think they get results fast enough. People need early proof that whatever they're doing is working, or otherwise they just lose motivation. So here's the thing, when clients don't finish, it's lose lose, right? For them and for you. They don't get the results they were looking for, and you don't get all those things I mentioned in the introduction. So the referrals and the testimonials, and actually, most importantly, the repeat sales. So don't forget, it is 60 to 70% easier to sell to an existing customer than a brand new one. So the question becomes, what do we do to set both of you up for success? So, the first piece of advice I would give you is to start with the end in mind. Start with the result that your client wants and work backwards from there. It's actually something I learned when I designed my very first entrepreneurship course, and I use it every time I design a program today, right? You always have to start with the learning objectives. So, ask what's the result my client wants, and then what is the simplest way I can help them get there? And by the way, if this is your first business or your first time turning your knowledge into a product, start with small and manageable. Make it approachable for your client and just really doable for you. So here's one of the biggest mistakes that I see when people design their online courses, right? So let's say that this ribbon is your knowledge, right? All of it. They, they try to cram the whole thing into one course. It's too much. You're going to overwhelm people. All right. What I recommend is that you start with one problem, right? One specific problem. Here's the result that they want. And you work backwards and you create a course that's manageable and gets them a tangible result. So it's kind of like we just pick portion of your knowledge, right? And this is what you're going to teach in the one course. So if you're new to thinking about teaching and learning this way, grab my signature offer starter kit. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's going to help you figure out which portion of the ribbon you want to use in about 10 minutes. Okay. So are online courses dead? Absolutely not. Look, courses can be a really powerful way to teach and to create change for people, right? But they need to match your clients' needs and your business goals. So here's the thing, today's clients want more than just information, and sometimes a course isn't the best delivery system for everything that you have to offer. Depending on what problem that you're solving, there's other models that might work better for you. There's group coaching, there's intensive or VIP days, there's done with you programs, even asynchronous support like Voxer days, right? I'll dig into all of those options in another episode. But for now, focus on the outcome that your client wants and then build the best bridge you can to get them there, whether that's a course or maybe something else. So, in my own program, Business Breakthrough, we focus on designing for results. And I've found that there are four building blocks that form the foundation of any offer, online course or otherwise. And they actually will work for any niche or focus area. So the building blocks are information, access, accountability, and feedback. So let's take those one at a time. So, information is the content you share, right? It's where you teach them what they need to know. Access is that people want to learn that information from you or from a group of experts that you've assembled, right? And it helps them get their questions answered and it helps them keep going, right? Now, accountability is the mechanisms that you build into your program that's going to help them stay on track. And then feedback is where you either congratulate them if they're doing it right, because everybody wants to, have cheerleaders along the way, right? So congratulate them that they're doing it right, or let them know if it's time for a course correction and then help them get back on the right path. The cool thing is that once you know the basics, you can kind of mix and match those building blocks based on whatever the result is you're trying to deliver and the kind of business that you're trying to run. So, we're going to play with this more in future episodes too, because it's actually pretty fun. So, listen, Amy Porterfield and others have done an amazing job spreading the word about the power of online courses. And I agree, it is a powerful model when it's done right. But actually, since she started teaching that course, a lot of things have changed, right? Clients have gotten savvier, expectations have shifted, and actually, we learned a lot about how people learn and don't learn online during the pandemic. So, here's where I think the bottom line is: information only, self paced courses are a tougher sell today, and a tougher delivery model if you want real client success stories, which are, I think, pretty critical to being able to sell. So you can absolutely create a profitable, impactful course, but it needs to be efficient, focused on tangible results, and often combined with the other elements I talked about, like access and accountability and feedback. If you're thinking about building a course or any kind of program and you want it to be a success for you and your clients, I would really recommend you check out the Signature Offer Starter Kit in the description to get started. You don't want to skip this step because it's going to give you the blueprint for exactly what you're trying to build. If you got something valuable out of today's show, I would love it if you would like and subscribe and leave a comment. I really do read them all and I love hearing from you. All right. It is time for me to get out of here and go for a walk by the water. You have a good one, and I will see you next time on the Gen Expert Show.